Hello, good Sunday morning, everyone. It's Colleen with Couture. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday morning? We're coming and doing a little Christmassy project today. Having some tea. If you're joining me with your coffee, good morning. Just waiting for the iPad. There we go. We are shared. Good morning, Tia. How are you? Hope you're having a great Sunday morning so far. So we're going to come in with a Christmas project. I'm actually getting ready for a event next weekend, and I wanted to have some of our new transfers. This is actually one of our new ones. It's Merry and Bright. It's an A size transfer. It is a $9.99 retail. So I thought we would just come in and do pretty simple. I just want to do Merry and Bright in black, and then our candy apple for the ornaments, and for, you know what, should I do the stars? Yeah, I'm just going to do the stars red too. So what I wanted to do was, I have a new candy apple, so I just want to show you what it looks like when you first get a new chalk paste. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the seal that's on here. Just trying to be careful not to get it all over our fingers, but isn't that gorgeous? Look how beautiful that candy apple red is. Love it. I'm just going to try to scrape some of that from my lid back into my jar. There we go. And then I'll just put this down here. Okay, no worries if you get it on your fingers. It does come off with just a little bit of water. Let me grab another paper towel. Slide that off. We're just going to spritz a little water on here. The red may stain your finger just a little bit, but I got most of it off. But it will come off in about 2 or 3 more times when you wash your hand. But every other chalk paste does come off really easily. Just the darker ones are a little more stubborn. But no worries, they do wash off. Okay, so let's get our stirry stick in here. Give this a good stir. This is the perfect consistency when you open it. It's gorgeous. So we just want to stir it in there to get all the pigments stirred around, get it to that nice consistency that we like, so that it goes right through our reusable silkscreen transfer, easy peasy. Okay, so there's our red. My black has seen better days. It's all clumpy around the sides, but guess what? There's still some in here, and I'm gonna use it. Okay, let's clear off this area. We'll bring our transfer back in. Now, if you are not familiar with our transfers, these are silkscreen reusable transfers. We guarantee between 8 and 3 uses out of each of them, depending on the surface that you're using and how well you're cleaning them. Most likely you're going to get more than that, but we guarantee officially 8 to 10 uses. Like I said, they are sticky back transfers, so they're very sticky. And this is the carrier sheet. We label the back so that we know that that's the paper side, this is the shiny side. That's how we want to return our transfer. So anytime we're using a transfer on different surfaces, there are many surfaces that you can use these on, but it just depends upon the surfaces that you're using. So for example, since I'm using this on a piece of wood that I'm trying to remember if I wax this. I don't think I wax this wood, so let's do that real quick. I'll show you how to do that. This was actually literally just a block, like a leftover block of wood that I just, painted white, sanded it a little bit to give it some texture, some vintage vibe kind of thing going on. But what I want to do is, when I'm using our transfers with wood surfaces that are painted, I want to make sure that I wax it first. And that's just putting a nice barrier between the wood and the paint and our transfer so that we don't ruin our transfer. So I'm just getting a little bit, this is just, any kind of wax. So min wax is fine. Hello, Donna. So we're just going to wax this real quick just to buff it in, give it a little bit of a protective covering for our transfer. Because as I mentioned, depending upon the surface, there's different things that you need to do for each surface. So for wood, like I said, we're just going to buff in some of this min wax just to put that protective barrier. And then I would suggest fuzzing your transfer. Okay? For chalkboards, always fuzz your transfer. For glass and mirrors and things like that, fuzz your transfer. You don't want to ruin your transfer. I don't fuzz when I'm using ink. So if I'm going to make a shirt or a piece of ceramic, anything that I can heat set. Hello, Jenny. Anything that I can heat set, I typically don't fuzz my transfer because I want a nice tight seal, so there's no bleeding, especially like in t-shirts and kitchen towels and things like that you can make that you want to make permanent with the ink. I don't fuzz those when I do that. So by fuzzing, what does that mean? Fuzzing is basically just adding lint to the back of your transfer to make it just a little less sticky. So that's all. I'm using just my fuzzing cloth. You can use your shirt or your leggings or a kitchen towel, anything that you have handy, just to make that just a little less sticky. So then we're going to just go ahead and put the transfer on here. It still has some of the sticky to it. And then we want to make sure, slide this down now that I fuzzed it. We want to make sure that we've got a nice good seal between our transfer and our project, and we're looking to make sure that we don't have any air bubbles in there. So you can use your hands to do that. You can use your squeegee to do that. Just taking that extra time just to make sure that you're not having any of that air bubbles, because it will come through when you're pulling off the transfer when you're done. The other thing with chalk, it's chalk paste. It's like liquid chalk, so it's gonna dry quickly. So you need to act sort of quickly. There are other methods. There's always different tips and tricks for everything that you do with chalk, like I mentioned about the fuzzing or not to fuzz, waxing, and things like that. So that's some tips for that. With chalking, and depending on how fast you need. Now, this is a smaller project, so this should go pretty well. If you have very large transfers, you can chalk a little bit on the top and pull the transfer down, dry it, and then continue on. This is a small one, so we're not going to really need to do that. However, if I was concerned about that, what I could do, even with the smaller transfer, if I'm concerned that I'm not going to be fast enough, I could chalk all the elements in red first and peel back the transfer, dry it, and then lay it back down again, matching it to the design, and then go to my next color. That's an option as well. So for today, I'm going to try to be quick, but I may wind up going the method of doing the reds and then coming back and doing the black. So let's try. Let's see how far we get. You can kind of start to gauge and see if it's starting to dry on your surface. So all that I'm doing is I picked up a little bit of chalk paste on my squeegee, and I'm just coming in and I'm going to cover the red components that I want to do right now. Okay, and all that you need to do is make sure that you are covering the silk screen. You don't need to worry about the teal section, because we just want this to go through the silk screen area so that it will come out onto our surface. So let's grab that. There. There's a little tiny string hanging down from the bee and bright, so I was just trying to catch that without hitting that. Okay. And I'm using an old squeegee that I've just cut apart, but we do have a multi-tool that has a surface just a little bit smaller than this width, and it's great to get in here for these little tiny pieces. Perfect. I'm just going back to make sure I got all my excess chalk off, because we can save that chalk paste if there's any excess on there. And that can go, see how I still have extra in there? Good morning, Kristen. See how I have excess still on there? So I can go ahead and put that right back into my jar, and I can have that for later. So let's do this method where we're gonna just do the red, and we're gonna peel back, and then we're gonna dry, and then we're gonna match it back up. So here's our red component so far. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. So we're going to dry that. Now you can use a hair dryer. That is perfectly fine. If you don't have a heat tool, we just want to make sure that our chalk paste is dry before we put our transfer back down and then type the merry and then the bright. Not type. Wow. Why did I just say type? I have no idea. What do I think? I'm back in work? Jeez Louise, it's Sunday. No work today. We're doing fun stuff. We're doing chalking fun, not work. Okay, so now that that's dried off, we're gonna just match that back up. And I'm using the "and" in the center there as kind of my guide, and I'm trying to get it perfectly matched, which I feel like it is. There we go. And now we need to make sure that we're putting this down again. So we remember how earlier we checked for bubbles? When we do this method, you need to check for bubbles again because we've picked up our transfer. So I'm just using the squeegee to kind of help push down in these areas to make sure that my transfer is back on my surface. Okay? And then I don't hear any air bubbles. And you can hear it when you guys... How are you, love bug? Hope you're having a great Sunday morning. You can kind of hear it. It like pulls off the surface when there's an air bubble in there. And I heard it, and now I don't hear it again. So I was just trying to hold it up so you guys could hear it. But I think I got it out, so we're good. All right, so now for this next one, we're just going to do this in black. And there's a reason why I'm doing it red and black. I know that's not traditional Christmas colors, but I kind of went with this for a reason. Because I was in a big box store and I saw something that they had made, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can make that so easy. And it was just a piece of wood like this, and it had like it had Halloween, some of them had Thanksgiving, some of them had Christmas. But then what they did was they put the buffalo plaid around the edge, and I thought, oh my gosh, our mini buffalo plaid, I can do that myself. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't have the mini plaid yet, so what I'm doing is just the top part of it. And once I get the mini plaid, I will come in and do that and finish it on the side. But I was like, that's easy peasy. I can make that at home myself. Why am I going to buy that here? And the nice part about it is I can make many of them. So all I needed to do was get little pieces of wood, and I can make my own Halloween ones. I can make my own Thanksgiving ones, just like them. And if the buffalo plaid, I just keep reusing and reusing to create these little awesome home decor pieces. So why would I pay for that when I can make it myself, right? Just being careful to come in here and not get that where I had the little ornament hanging there. I was just trying to take my time there. Now another option, if you feel like you are taking a little bit of time, is to put a damp paper towel down over where you have already chalked, and that will keep the chalk paste activated and keep it, and I know you guys, some of you guys hate this word, but it will keep it moist if you feel like you're going too slow. So if I felt like, oh, that's starting to dry, just put a damp paper towel down, and that will keep the chalk activated and will keep it from drying out on your transfer, because we don't want that to happen. Getting ready to chalk, Donna. Oh, I can't wait to see what you make. That's awesome. Aren't Sunday mornings great for chalking? I love it. Okay, we're just getting all that excess back off of here. And what I have is a pan of water. I always have that off to the side so I can throw my transfer right into there so it'll get nice and clean so we can use it again and again. This would make an awesome t-shirt too, wouldn't it? Oh, I love it. See how easy that was? We made it ourselves. We didn't have to purchase it. And you know how cheap it is to get little pieces of wood? Oh my gosh, dirt cheap. You could get like a whole thing, and the Home Depot cuts these for you. So you could get a ton of these little pieces of wood. All I did was slap a little bit of white paint on there. I sanded the edges just to make it look a little distressed. And there you go. There's your home decor piece. You can just add some cute little embellishments. I love that. It came out so cute. And once I add that mini buffalo plaid around the side, oh my goodness, it's gonna look gorgeous. It's gonna look so pretty. Let's throw all of the tools that we used, our stirry sticks and our squeegees, are all going into our pan of water. And I'm gonna show you how you clean your transfers and clean your tools. It's pretty easy. You are very welcome for the idea, Donna. It was not my idea. I borrowed it from the big box store that I saw it in, and I just thought, I'm going to try to make that. I think I can do it. Isn't that what art is all about? Don't we all get inspired by other things that we see people do, and then we kind of take it and make it our own? That's what art's all about. Okay, I love that. I love that pops of red in it. I think it looks amazing. So let's bring our bucket in here real quick. Oh, hopefully I don't drop my piece of wood. There we go. I almost did. So now we've got our pan that I mentioned that has our transfer in it and all of our tools. And I have my little board eraser in there to help clean. So let me grab a towel. And all that I use is just an old ratty kitchen towel. Okay, so I'm just going to lay that here. And then we're going to clean our tools. I love creating with black, but oh, it's a little bit messy, but it's okay because it's worth it. It looks so good when it's finished. Okay, so we're cleaning off our tools first, and I'm just setting them up to the top here. Like I said, our board eraser is great for helping to clean things quickly and not really getting too much on our fingers of the chalk paste, but it is a-okay if you don't have them. You can just use your hands to clean everything. Okay, so this was that multi-tool I was talking about earlier that has the little, the little piece to it at the end that is perfect for the little detail work. So I'm just going to go in here and use this board eraser again. I'm leaning the transfer on the bottom of my pan and just kind of pulling the board eraser across the transfer. Trying to be careful not to stretch it. Okay. I'm doing the front, I'm doing the back. And now we can lay it sticky side up, which it's not sticky right now. Some of my board eraser fell apart. So it's not sticky right now because it was submerged in the water, and that's fine. But I'll show you how we're going to bring it back. Okay, so what I like to do first is to just kind of get a paper towel and clean all these. Now sometimes with our darker pigmented chalk paste, they're gonna stain. They will stain. You'll see here it might stain your tools as well, but we're gonna try to fix that. I'm just getting the excess water from my transfer off, and the final step will be with our disinfectant wipe. And that's going to take care of cleaning up our tools and cleaning up our transfer. So remember how I said sometimes you've got some staining? Did you see that? See how I have some staining on there? But watch, the disinfectant wipe takes it right off and makes it shiny and new. So the disinfectant wipes are not just for transfers. They're for your tools too. It'll help get that chalk paste. Look at that one. That's got some old chalk paste on it. But watch. Made it brand new just by using the wipe. I love that. Okay, and it actually helps to get the chalk paste. I had a little black on my hand and it got it right off. Okay, so now that we're getting all of our tools cleaned off, we're going to go ahead to our transfer. So we're going to flip it back to the side that we chalked on, and you may notice, look, the red staining. That is perfectly fine. The darker pigmented chalk paste will do that on your transfer. No worries. See how it's already starting to get sticky? So now with our disinfectant wipe, not only are we cleaning the silk screen, we're trying to get some of that fuzz that we put on there earlier back off of our transfer. And then that way it'll be nice and sticky again for us to use again and again. Okay, so let's put these back in our little tray. These are all cleaned and ready for our next project. All of our tools are reusable, so that is pretty awesome. And I'm just waiting for this to dry real quick, and then I'm going to return it to its carrier sheet, which if you remembered, we labeled, where did I put it? We labeled the back, so we know that this is the back. And all we have to do is match it back up. Easy peasy. And our cleanup is done. And then I think I want to take this and make a shirt out of it, or a baby onesie. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. Or a kitchen towel. How awesome is that? If you have a gift for somebody for the holidays, to make a cute little kitchen towel that you can put on top of the present, kind of like tie it up on the top of the present, and that's like it's like a bonus gift. So that would be awesome too. I'm just trying to make sure I get this wrinkle out here. perfect. And again, all of our use and care instructions are on the back of all of our packages in case you forget anything that I mentioned. And I thank you so much for watching. If you are not currently a designer and you want to go ahead and hit that share button, that helps to get the Couture love out there to your friends and family. We're still pretty relatively new baby company, only 2 years, a little over 2 years now. And there's still a lot of people that have no idea what Couture is. So we would like to remedy that by hitting the share button. Like I said, bottom left hand of your mobile device, and that helps to get the Couture love out there to everybody. So here's our chalk paste that we used, our black, our velvet black, and our candy apple red. How adorable is this little project? Like I said, I'm gonna do using the black chalk paste, I'll do the mini buffalo plaid once I get that. I haven't gotten that one yet. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending a little bit of your Sunday morning with me. I truly appreciate it. Enjoy and have a fabulous rest of your Sunday afternoon. Be safe out there. Bye.